If you love Chevys, then this is the place for you. This is the Menards Chevy series, where we tour the country to find the finest race cars and rides that are part of the bow tie breed.
Welcome to the Menards Chevy series, coming to you from Northwest Louisiana at Thunder Road Raceway. Hi, I'm Kathy Fisher, and let me tell you something. A lot of folks got here early. They were shining on their vehicles, making them look all awesome, because we have a great field of cars coming to show you right now. We're going to start right off with our OPGI original winner, and what a beautiful Chevelle. Tell me about it.
When I got out of Vietnam in 1971, I ordered a Super Sport that was this color. When I went to jump school in the Army, I gave the car to a friend and he wrecked it. I gave $1,800 for this car back in 1976. I just got out of the service. I had $3,000, gave $1,800 for the car, and as you can see, the rest is history. I decided it needed to be this color because you don't see this color at all. I mean, you know, and it's just an odd color, and it just shows very nice. Shows very nice, and I love it. I use OPG stuff all the time. Everything is OPG on this car. Replaced the rear quarters on her, had everything re-chromed.
We see the interior is beautiful, the exterior is beautiful. What about what's under the hood?
It's a 1971 402, then bored 30 over. It's got pop-up pistons in it, aluminum heads on the block, aluminum intake, coated headers on it, 2,500 RPM stall kit, the transmission, 330 posies that are factory. General Motors come with the car, 400 turbo, that's all stock except for the stall kit. And it'll do whatever you want it to do.
You get an opportunity to really get out and enjoy this car.
As often as I can, every weekend I go to a car show wherever it's at. And luckily this weekend, we come down to Louisiana and to see my son, and he was telling me that there was a Chevy show going on. Bring your car. I said, oh man, that's a long way to bring that old car. No, bring it, Dad. You know, I said, okay. And so here we are, and this is terrific. This is a nice venue, very nice venue, yeah.
A great award winner for the OPGI Original Award. And our first producer's pick is a beautiful 1965 Nova SS. Mike, why this car?
Actually, I bought it, got it in high school when I was a junior. And I had it up until 76 and then sold it, and then didn't have it for 30 years and found it, and then got it back and restored it. It was my high school car.
Well, there weren't that many SSs back in 65.
Right, but then there was even fewer of these 327s. For the Novas, they moved the filter way up high on them to make clearance room. That's what's special about this, is that it was very rare for those. 327, 300 horse with the 4-speed and the 12-bolt posi.
Well, and I love the color of this car.
Yeah, it's original crocus yellow. I repainted it to a Daytona yellow way back in 72, but to make it original, I went back to original color. Like, I've driven it to my high school reunion, 40th high school reunion up in South Dakota in 2013, and then this year we took it on the Hot Rod Power Tour and put 3,600 miles on it. So we drive it.
And to be able to drive it to your 40th class reunion, how cool is that?
That was great because everybody enjoyed seeing it. Had a lot of memories.
This week's DriveDuracell.com award is going to a beautiful 1966 Chevelle. And Galen, you always wanted one of these when you were growing up?
That's right. I grew up, went to high school in the 60s, so it was one of my favorite cars. In high school, didn't have one then.
Well, you have one now, but this is not the way you found the car.
No, it was a total wreck. It was in a cow pasture with a pine tree growing out of the engine compartment. So everything on the car had to be replaced and all the body work. The only thing original to the car is the roof and the doors. We've got a GM 502 crate motor 502 horsepower, 502 torque. Hard part was getting the motor mounts to match up, and we went through a couple of different motor mounts, solid, rubber, but it all eventually fit in and works well. It's Viper Red. It's bright and shiny and stands out.
We take a look at the interior. You've got some special things going on.
Well, the dash, the instrument panel is custom. It's made out of a solid piece of billet aluminum, and it's got the autometer gauges in it. And the glove box, when we did the billet aluminum, the button for the glove box was in the way, so we shaved that off, and the glove compartment, glove box, is now electronic. You push a button and it opens and it closes.
Well, you know, you've got a beautiful car here, and when you want to take it out and drive it, you want to make sure it fires up, but you've taken care of that with Duracell.
That's right. Duracell has always been a good, dependable battery for us, and keep it charged, and haven't had any problems with it.
That's what we like to hear, so you can get out and drive that car. And congratulations to our winner, Galen, and his 1966 Chevelle and the DriveDuracell.com award. Stay with us for more of the Menards Chevy series from Thunder Road Raceway Park when we'll check out a couple of cool and classy Camaros. We'll be right back.
This episode of Menards Chevy series is being brought to you by Dustless Blasting. It's the future of surface preparation. Custom Auto Sound, the originator of classic car OEM fit radio since 1977. Hurst, America's #1 shifter. And by EvapoRust, super safe rust remover.
Welcome back to Menards Chevy series, coming to you from Thunder Road Raceway here in Louisiana. You know, there are 4 very magic letters when it comes to the world of Camaros, and that would be Copo. There are all kinds of beautiful Camaro specimens, and one of them happens to be our producer's pick. This 1979 Z28 Camaro, Eric, was ordered special just for you for one particular reason.
Well, I was just getting out of college and wanted to get a 79 Z28, and they didn't have the manual 4-speed that I wanted. So we had to special order it, and then once that was started, then I got all the options, the other options I wanted.
You've kept this car very nice over the years, but you've also done a lot of stuff to it, Eric.
Early on, I used to autocross the car and this and that, and then I went through a couple engines, and it sat in my barn for a while, and I finally started picking up parts and pieces to do a better job, and I finally got to the point where it was more than what I could handle, so I found a quality shop, Charlie's Custom Cars here in Theodore, and they helped me put it together correctly. You know, I put in a 5-speed transmission and a bunch of other nice parts.
Interior looks awesome, and I love how you've tied everything together.
Thank you. Yeah, with the autocross background, I wanted to have, you know, a car with some good lateral support, so I went with Recaro seats. And then, of course, they came in black, so I wanted to go back with the camel interior, so luckily I found a nice upholsterer to help me in the area, and we were able to match the camel with the Recaros.
Absolutely gorgeous car, and just one of the many ones that we get to see here at the Menards Chevy series. And our RockAuto.com Restored Award goes to this 1969 Camaro Z28. This thing is spectacular. Keith, I want to start right off with the awesome color.
We started out, when we purchased the car, it was Hugger Orange. We were doing some cleaning up on the car on the floor pans, and the scraper went right through the floor. So they had covered up the floors with Bondo. We started checking everything on the car and found the quarter panels full of Bondo. We went ahead and tore the car down and did a nut bolt restoration on it. Found new old stock rear quarters, replaced them, replaced the floor pans in it. The blue was the original color for the car, so when we brought it back up, we went ahead and put it back the original color. It is a factory correct matching number Z28 car. We did do a Restomod on it, but we saved everything and kept it to bolt-ons. We did a Global West tubular control arms, QA1 coilovers, rear shocks, Flowmaster exhaust system. We upgraded the disc brakes with Bayer disc brakes, vintage air, and did a Detroit Speed custom dash with autometer gauges. The car runs and drives as good as it looks, and it's a lot of fun.
The white interior is just absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, he wanted to keep the interior white, and you just have to have some really good upholstery cleaner and be clean when you get in the car.
And the wheels on the car just really set it off too.
Those are 17-inch American racing wheels, and they kind of go with the bigger brakes that are on the car, and just, it's a classic look. You just can't beat the American racing wheel on the older cars.
And putting a car like this together, I'm sure the folks at Rock Auto and what they offer really played a big part.
Their website is really easy to go to. It's really easy to find the parts for your car. And then they have a great variety. You don't have to stick with just one certain brand. They have different levels that you can get for your car, so you can pretty much find what you need for any car you have.
Any future plans for this car?
Just driving it and enjoying it.
There's still plenty more sweet rides to come, including a fire engine red 57 pickup when the Menards Chevy Series returns to Thunder Road Raceway Park. Stay with us.
Welcome back to the Menards Chevy Series. We're having fun hanging out in Louisiana at Thunder Road Raceway. And if you take a look, you're probably wondering, why is this Ford 23T Roadster at a Chevy show? Well, that's because it has this nice little small block Chevy. You know what? We have a lot of nice vehicles to check out, and here is our next producer's pick. We are looking at one fine 1957 Chevy 3100 pickup truck. How did you find this one, Lawrence?
Well, a buddy of mine found this truck. It came from California. It's a really good body, so I talked him out of it. I needed it. It was a long bed. I cut the bed down, shortened the bed, built the chassis, Camaro front suspension, and away we went from there. And built the engine and sat on the stand for a few years, and I decided it's time to put it together.
What other plans would you have for this truck?
Well, I just want to get around town and, leave the red light, leave a little smoke, burn the tire once in a while, when the police are not looking. and go to a lot of car shows. That's my plan, go to a lot of car shows.
We look at the bed and, the wood that you've run through it and everything else. What was it like to pick that out?
For whatever reason, I like the smell of cedar. So I decided I'm going to get some cedar, put it in my truck. And people were talking crazy. No, you don't want cedar. It won't last. I said, what's the matter with you? I have a cedar swing on my front porch. It's been there for 10 years, and it hadn't rained. So anyway, I found this company down in Rusk, Texas, that actually cut, and they leave this cedar setting for a long time and let it age, and then they sell it. And the price was right, so I got it. And I went to my buddies that got the routers and all that stuff, and so we started cutting and routing, and there we go.
I'm liking Lawrence. You know what? The man sees what he wants, he makes it happen, and that's why this is another one of our producers' picks. And our LMC Truck Life Award is going to this fine 1986 truck, Red. Tell me about it.
Well, it's built it from a nephew. With River City Rod is the one that built the truck. We did it like 5 years ago, and he came to me a couple months ago and wanted to do an LS swap, so we put the LSA supercharged engine in it. It's basically 580 horsepower, super fast, beautiful truck. He hadn't got to drive it yet. I told him I was going to have to drive it for 30 days before I would turn it over to him, so I'm really enjoying it. He's going to need some new tires before he gets a truck, but it came out of a 2013 Camaro, and they come from the factory, 580 horsepower. That's what they're rated at. And we haven't even had time to tune the truck yet, so we're going to put another at least 100 horsepower in it, and it's going to be real fun then.
And start that 30-day timer over again.
Start it over. You got that right.
This is an awesome, awesome color on the truck, and it kind of looks familiar. What is the name of the paint?
It's Atomic Orange. It comes on your new Corvettes, and it's a beautiful color, beautiful color. Truck's got 4-link suspension under it, got the 6-speed Chevrolet automatic overdrive, and it's just a fun truck to drive.
What did you guys do with the taillights back here?
That's teardrop recessed. You just cut out your rear fenders, recess them in, and that's what they call them, teardrop. And they are really smooth, good-looking taillights.
Oh yeah, it just definitely ties into everything else you've done on the truck. And the big wheels and tires under the back. Why this particular wheel choice?
That's what the customer wanted, and they was the first ones they had built this size when we bought these, and that was his choice on the wheels. They really go with the truck, you know.
Another beautiful truck here for our LMC Truck Life Award.
Coming up on the Menards Chevy Series from Thunder Road Raceway Park, we'll check out an amazing and award-winning Nomad. We'll be back in a moment.
Menards Chevy Series is being brought to you in part by LMC Truck. Restore, maintain, customize. Z-Max, the one product for your engine, transmission, and fuel system. Stage 8, the world's best locking fastener. And by MRT Performance, for performance car parts and servicing.
Here at the Menards Chevy Series, you know what, we get to see all kinds of beautiful Tri-5s, not always highly modified like this one here from Nitrous, Pro-Streeted all the way through. But let me tell you something, there's also a lot of them here that look like they just rolled off the showroom floor. And boy, we found one here that has a lot of awards, and for good reason. Jerry, this is a beautiful 1955 Chevy Bel Air 210. Why this car?
It's the only one to have. It's great. It's nice to drive. It's a gorgeous car. Everything on it is brand new, bolts and everything original. Original parts, original motor, original tires, paint, inside, everything.
Did anything give you a really hard time? Any step in the restoration?
Now the front end, you know, getting the motor and everything in right, the gearbox right, everything lined up stuff, it went back perfect.
How long did it take you to do this project?
A couple years, you know, to get everything straight, lined up, right.
Do you have any other plans for this car?
No ma'am, just drive it and show it. It drives beautiful, it's like a brand new one.
And right next door, we found another 55 Chevy. Randy, you've done a little bit to this one though.
Yeah, it's got a modified engine. It's a 305 fuel-injected Chevrolet truck engine originally. It's got the Continental kit, which is, I think, original. The turquoise paint is a little darker shade than the original color. It gets a little more attention, so just something a little different.
What made you pick this particular car?
Well, my birth year is 1955, so love the 55s.
You know, when you put the different motor in, why did you go with that one?
Well, I like fuel injection. It just makes it so much easier.
Do you have any future plans for it, Randy?
I just like to take it to shows. People like to see it. I just enjoy that part of it.
During the Menards Chevy Series, we see all kinds of fabulous show cars, but we also see some pretty wicked race cars, like this small block Chevy powered Opel GT, and we thought we'd check in with a track operator and find out more about the facility.
This facility was built 20 years ago here in Shreveport, Louisiana, and we have taken it over 3 years ago. My wife and I relocated from Florida. It's great to be here. We really enjoy ourselves, and we're trying to grow the facility as much as we can with a lot of great events.
We have several events out here. We have the Manpower Brackets. We do a $2,000 to win, and we have a great series. We've built it from 35 racers to now over 200 racers for our events, and we're just growing and excited to be here.
In 2017, we're going to continue our NHRA Division 4 event. We've had 3 years of that, have been very successful. We set 2 world records here. So we know how to make them go fast down the track, so we really enjoyed it. The Menards Chevy Series is coming back next year for us, so we're growing that. And we have many other types of programs, some big pro mod meets and some other things that we're trying to do to get people really interested in coming out and having a great time with us.
And our Minty's Top Dog Award winner, David, with your beautiful 1956 Chevy Nomad. Why the Nomad for you?
Well, we had a 35 Chevy Coupe, and they're real close and they're real small, and you can't haul very much stuff in it, or my wife's luggage, for example. So we were looking around for Tri-5s, and we come across this Nomad in Destin, Florida. And my wife traded our 35 Chevy Coupe for this thing even at the show. So it was a pretty good deal. And it rides good, drives good, and you haul all her luggage and all her stuff.
All her stuff. And now to haul your award around too.
That's right. It sure is nice. It sure is great to win this award. Thank you.
Now, did you find this car this way? Have you done anything to it?
Yes, we've lowered it 4 inches in the back, 2.5 in the front, with upper and lower control arms, rack and pinion steering, four-wheel disc brakes all the way around, wheelwood brakes, and done a lot to it. Have a 350 Chevy crate motor with a 700 R4 transmission. Runs and drives good. Got a cruise control, good air conditioning. It'll go.
Tell me about the paint colors on this car.
This is a Navajo red with Adobe beige, and that's just a factory color in 1956.
Was there anything that you did on this car that caused you any issues?
The rack and pinion steering on the front there give us a little trouble, and we adjusted on it a time or two and finally got it straight. So it drives good and that stops good and everything.
And of course, it looks good, and that is why David's 1956 Chevy Bel Air is our Minty's Top Dog Award winner. Well, we see the folks have their laundry all packed on their 1967 Chevelle, and I guess it's time for us to go pack up our laundry and hit the road. But we hope you'll join us again next week when we take a look back at the Menards Chevy Series and the best of for 2016.